Your hands are shaking. The pain started at dawn. Now the sun is going down. No doctor is coming. There is no hospital. There is only a small room, a straw bed, and the women who came before you. Your mother is here. So is your mother-in-law. They are quiet. Because they know something you don't. Tonight, you might not survive this. This video is about the first childbirth of a young woman in ancient Rome. No name, no title, just a wife, maybe 16 or 17 years old, about to become a mother for the first time. Records show childbirth was one of the most dangerous moments in a Roman woman's life. Historians believe many young wives feared it more than war, more than famine, more than anything else. By the end of this video, you will understand what she felt, what she feared, and what she had to survive just to bring one new life into the world. You might think this is a story about pain. It is not. It is a story about power, because in ancient Rome, the birthing room was the one place where men were not in charge. No husband, no father, no senator, only women, and that changed everything about how this night would unfold. In Rome, a girl could be married as young as 12 or 13. Most brides gave birth for the first time before they turned 18. Why so young? Because a Roman marriage had one main purpose: children. A wife's value was tied to her ability to give her husband an heir. The moment she married, an invisible clock started ticking. Imagine being a teenager, still learning who you are, already carrying the weight of your husband's family name on your body. There was no waiting, no someday, just the quiet pressure of every relative watching your belly, hoping, expecting. And soon, that pressure would turn into something much more real. When labor began, the husband did not stay by her side. He waited outside, sometimes in another building entirely. Instead, the room filled with women. A midwife, called an obstetrix, took charge. She was often an older woman, sometimes a former slave, who had helped deliver dozens of babies. Picture the scene. Oil lamps flicker. Female relatives whisper prayers. The midwife checks the mother's body with calm, practiced hands. This was not just medical care. It was female authority in a world where women rarely had any. But even with skilled hands guiding her, the young mother still faced dangers no one could fully control. Roman women often did not lie down to give birth. They sat. A special birthing chair, with a curved opening in the seat, let gravity help the baby descend. The midwife knelt in front, ready to catch the newborn. Imagine gripping the armrests of that chair, knuckles white, your whole body trembling, while gravity itself becomes both a helper and a threat. This chair had been used for generations. It carried the marks and the memories of every mother who sat there before. But comfort was never guaranteed, and pain relief, as we know it today, simply did not exist. There was no anesthesia, no epidural, no safe painkillers as we understand them. Instead, women turned to herbs, oils, and prayer. Some midwives used warm olive oil to ease the skin. Others burned incense to calm the room. Amulets were placed nearby, believed to protect mother and child from harm. Imagine believing that a small stone charm, tied around your wrist, might be the only thing standing between you and disaster. It sounds fragile today, but in that room, belief was sometimes the only comfort available, and belief alone could not stop what came next. Romans believed a goddess named Juno Lucina watched over childbirth. Women called her name during labor, begging for protection. This was not just superstition. It was survival psychology. When medicine could not promise safety, faith gave women something to hold on to in the darkest hour. Imagine chanting a name over and over, not because you're certain it will help, but because staying silent feels even more terrifying. For many women, prayer was the last defense between fear and hope. But even the gods could not guarantee what happened in the final moments. If something went wrong, the room grew quiet. No panic, no yelling. Just focused, urgent movement. Historians believe maternal death was tragically common in Rome. Some estimates suggest a significant number of women died from childbirth complications during their lifetime. Imagine lying there, exhausted, hearing the women around you go silent, and realizing that silence might mean the worst is happening. This is why families often prepared for two outcomes at once: celebration or grief, standing side by side. But if the baby arrived safely, everything changed in an instant. When the baby was born, the midwife placed it on the ground. This was a sacred Roman custom. The father, waiting outside, would come forward. If he picked the baby up, he accepted it as his own. Imagine that pause, that breathless second where an entire life depends on one man's decision. If he lifted the child, the household celebrated. If he did not, the story took a much darker turn. For the mother, exhausted and trembling, this moment was both an ending and a beginning. After childbirth, the young wife was different. She was no longer just a bride. She was a mother, a survivor, someone who had crossed through danger and come out the other side. Roman society respected this. A woman who successfully gave birth gained new status in her household and community. Imagine finally holding your baby, feeling utter exhaustion mixed with a strange, quiet strength you didn't know you had. She would face this fear again with future children. But this first time changed her forever. Somewhere in Rome, centuries ago, a young woman closed her eyes and breathed through pain no medicine could soften. She had no machines to measure her heartbeat, no doctors standing by, only candlelight, whispered prayers, and the steady hands of women who had walked this same path before her. When the room finally fell silent, and then filled again with the sound of a newborn's cry, something ancient and unbroken passed from one generation to the next. Not just a baby. Courage. The same courage carried quietly by mothers for thousands of years, long before anyone thought to write her name down. If this story moved you, imagining a world where survival itself was an act of courage, hit subscribe, because history isn't just about kings and wars. It's about the quiet, unnamed people who lived through moments like this and never got remembered for it. And if you want to feel that fear and strength again in a different time, a different life, there's another video waiting for you right here.